It won't be a stretch to say that Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface in WWE today. He won the undisputed WWE Universal Championship by defeating Roman Reigns in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania XL earlier this year. Cody Rhodes boasts a massive fan following. One look at his interactions with little fans at WWE's live events will convince you that he is the biggest babyface in WWE today. Recently, WWE Hall of Famer The Undertaker claimed that Cody Rhodes would do very well as a heel somewhere down the line. Shortly after, a Twitter handle named Cena SZN posted a Twitter thread called Cody Rhodes the Fallen Hero, Heel Fantasy Booking. In the thread, he compared Cody Rhodes to the Homelander character of Boys. So let's take a quick look at Cena SZN's Twitter thread, Fantasy Booking Cody Rhodes as a heel. The Rock and Roman Reigns finished their WrestleMania 42 main event. Roman Reigns is standing over The Rock, victorious, claiming himself as the superior Samoan of their family. Paul Heyman enters the ring and begins embracing Roman. Heyman afterwards strikes Roman with a low blow, leaving the crowd shocked at what just happened. Heyman leaves the ring with the crowd booing him out of the stadium. As he reaches the top of the ramp, out comes Cody Rhodes standing side by side with his old family friend. Cody Rhodes has officially aligned himself with Paul Heyman, turning heel. The Monday after WrestleMania, Cody and Heyman come out together. Cody asks, "What do you want to talk about?" With an evil smirk, then hands the microphone to Paul Heyman. Heyman explains his actions the night before and says how Roman Reigns has abandoned him any chance he's gotten to go to Hollywood. Now he's sent Roman away permanently. Cody takes the microphone and tells the crowd that he's been paying them from the start. All it took was him talking about his dad and shedding a few tears just to get the crowd behind him. He even get the people to turn on their people's champion, fully playing into the politician role now. He's done what he needed to do with the Universal title. Now it's time to do what everyone before him failed to do, and that is elevate the World Heavyweight Championship that the great Ric Flair made sacred, now praising his father's greatest rival. Cody's first feud would be against his former friend and tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion at that point, Jey Uso. This would be a great story. The man who helped Cody finish his story and the man who endured the abuse from the bloodline is now being targeted by both. Their first match together would be a hard-hitting one, both dominating at certain points in the match. Cody would eventually take a trick out of the legend Ric Flair's book and strike Jey with a low blow. This would allow Cody to take advantage of Jey hitting him with a crossroads, but instead of pinning him, he puts Jey into an arm triangle choke, debuting a new finisher submission resulting in a victory. Rather than leave with the title, Cody adds insult to injury and begins to brutally attack Jey, seemingly injuring him and writing him off TV for a while. Now as the newly crowned World Heavyweight Champion, Cody and Paul Heyman begin to build their legacy as a duo. Heyman advises Cody to seek out others who can be impressionable, those without leadership that desperately need a guide. Cody starts to build his own group as he looks to build his own legacy. The first person Cody seeks out is Braun Breaker, who is a second generation superstar powerhouse, but he doesn't use his brain. He acts out on an aggression something Cody can play into and use in his favor. By convincing Braun, all of his decisions are inevitably helping him grow and essentially being Braun's tactician. Cody will be to Braun what Randy was to him, but more manipulative. The second person Cody would sort out is Lexis King. Lexis King is also a second generation superstar and is the son of former WWE WCW superstar Brian Pillman. Cody sees that Lexis is trying to separate himself from his father, something he himself did on the indie scene. He convinces Lexis King that maybe it's time to incorporate his father's old ways into who he is. This will lead to us seeing a slightly more unhinged Lexis King, which plays completely into this group dynamic. The last person Cody seeks out is Charlie Dempsey, the son of WWE legend William Regal. Cody sees how talented Charlie is in the ring, similar to William Regal himself. Cody would remind Charlie that many saw his father as a joke, even made to kiss the ass of his boss, referencing Vince Kennedy McMahon. Cody will convince Charlie that he could help him be something more than his father was. This group would be a new iteration of Legacy. This group, with the assistance from Cody and Heyman, will be the dominating group for the next generation in WWE. All their most vicious and sinister versions of themselves. With the faction now set and forming together, Cody will continue his championship reign. Another storied feud would be against another former friend of his, Sami Zayn. Sami has grown to be that beacon of hope. No matter how far gone you may be, Sami has always seemed to show people the light. This is something he's done with Jay and something he's done with Otis. Unfortunately, this won't be the same for Cody. Cody isn't too far gone, this is always who he has been and cannot be saved. This will result in a match between the two where Cody dominates the whole match with Sami getting offense in toward the end. This will ultimately end in TKO as Cody continues to bash Sami in the face, leaving him unconscious despite Sami's efforts to help him. Cody would begin to laugh at what is done cynically, and this is where Homelander Cody is in full force. After his brutal match with Sami and showing his destructive side, Cody begins to focus on his leadership role in Legacy. He begins to elevate his fellow members by assisting them in getting gold, with Charlie and Lexis acting as a tag team duo and Braun Breaker dominating mid-card division. Cody's heel-like tactics will see his team get the gold they deserve, making them the most dominant faction in WWE.